Greetings to all of my fearfully and wonderfully made educators out there. This is Dr. Jerry Potts with Katalysator Educational Solutions, and today's teaching tidbit deals with word problems. We will look at the cube strategy as well as the racist strategy to make sure our students understand how to break down a word problem. Reading the question, Mel had $35, withdrew $200 from the bank to add to the amount he already had. He purchased a pair of trousers for $34, two shirts for $16 each, and a pair of shoes for $24 each. That doesn't sound right. So guys, do you think Dr. Potts made a mistake? Yes, she did. So this is not a pair of shoes. Well, it is just one. So we have to make sure it's just one. Give the final expression and determine how much money Mel had at the end of the day. So what is our question? You are absolutely correct. This is our question, and there are two parts. We'll say this is part one, and this is part two. So part one is what is the expression, and part two is how much money did Mel have at the end of the day. So I'd walk them through the important numbers so they could write the equation. We have 35, 200, $34, 2, because 2 is not in numeric form, but it is a number, 16, and 24. And we would write our expression. It's the same word problem we were working on before. It's in equation form, and now they have to model it. And we're going to use base 10. So I get my marker, 10, 20, 30, 1, 2, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 100, 200. And then I would do a separation because this shows 35 plus 200, and then everything else after the squiggly line is what we're subtracting. So first I have to figure out the total amount. 10, 20, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 10, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. And then I add everything up, 40, 50, 60, 70. And if it's in rows like this, I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. And my 4, which equals 90. So I have to take 90 away from this model. And I would ask the students, is it possible to take all this 90 from what we have right here? And they would tell me, no, we have to regroup. So we would take away from one set of 10 and do 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. And then we would go in and subtract 90. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, and get rid of our big box. They would count what they have left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 100, 10, 20, 30, 40. So I have 145 left over after I finish shopping. So if I add 145 plus the amount that I spent, will that give me 235? 5 and 0 is 5, and 9 and 4, 13. It gives me 235, and that is how we would model that expression for my students who need it. Steps. But what we would really work on are their notes for how to solve problems. So we have our order of operations rules on one side, what it entails on the other side. And every time we do notes, I make sure I do not put in numbers so it does not confuse them. So you see C plus N, B squared, AX plus D minus Z plus. So they have to think critically when it comes to their notes. And then their problem is a little bit different. So instead of one pair of shoes, they have two pairs of shoes. We do the equation and we follow race. 15 points for rewriting the question from words to only numbers. 20 points for answering all parts. 25 points for computation and or models. 25 points for explaining their reasoning. And then 15 points for solving and checking. So you see the RACE portion of what we do, and that is how I break down word problems with my students. There you have it. That's how we break down word problems using graphical organizers to organize our thoughts, cubes to break that word problem down so we can answer efficiently, effectively, and accurately, and races, RACES, to answer math constructed responses. I don't know about your state, but in our state, we have constructed responses in math where students get graded on their answer plus them explaining the process. So in order for my students to be fully engaged and to have it ingrained in their brains, I have it in print in anchor charts, in print in front of them, and digital copies for my students who are virtual. With the Frere models, you can use it with any content area. Go in and change the titles within the boxes and make it your own because you were made to do great things. Check out our other teaching tidbits on our YouTube channel. Hit us up on Twitter or Instagram. We are KES.